So how could you start to look at yourself as having something to offer someone else that you already have inside of you? That's the whole point of this episode is there a business in you? And I mean right now. I don't mean you got to go out and take a course or you got to go learn something new. No. I think that you have something inside of you right now. And I believe that. I believe in your ability. Hey, my name is Stephanie Simmons, and I'm completely obsessed with living in a culture of freedom and helping you maneuver your way through the chaos to the calm. As a small city mom of 6, I took my life into my own hands, quit my job, and went all in on my side hustle, creating the freedom to not only make my own schedule, but to make time for the people and things that matter most in life. Working from home, I now have an online business teaching others how to realize their passions, map out their goals in business and in life, and make those goals their new reality. I'm just over here telling it exactly like it is as we dive in on topics like burnout, balancing it all, finding joy, and dreaming up those crazy cool next chapters of your life. Business, mindset, breaking barriers, and showing up for yourself and the people you care about are all things we talk about here. Ready to become the curator of your best life? Lean in, take a listen, and let me challenge you and cheer you on to creating a life you absolutely love. This is the Freedom Culture Podcast. Hey, Stephanie here, and I am coming at you today to talk about, is there a business in you? So if you ever wanted to explore whether or not you could be an entrepreneur and open your own business, this episode is for you. I know that generally I do get a lot of entrepreneurs listening to this, and I appreciate you. You could look at this as, is there another business in you? But if you're not an entrepreneur, you're definitely going to enjoy this episode in testing the waters of whether or not you have a business that's brewing inside of you. And that's what I mean by, is there a business in you? Is there one in your mind? Maybe you don't even know. And that's what this episode is going to help you uncover. That's my goal. So let's see. If you've ever thought about opening your own business, I'm super curious to know, what would you be doing? I love hearing all of the different ideas that people have had of opening businesses. And over the last, say, 5 years, I've been in this online world. So I've been listening to people who have opened businesses from everything from creating subscription boxes of, self-care items to guitar lessons to all kinds of things that they're offering in the online space, which I'm super fascinated by. I love the online space. And you can definitely check out some of the things I'm doing in the online space because I've just been so motivated by all of these amazing people that have created businesses online. And it's been something that I've been super interested in for years. But let's talk about you. Are you interested in getting in the online space? Because if so, there's so many ways that you can do it. And it's something that I think has really also helped a lot of people who have been doing in-person service businesses or in-person businesses doing whatever it is that they do. And how can they move to the online space and create a little bit more of a passive income or a super intentional revenue generating online business? And that is something that I have been fortunate enough to be able to help people with as of late. So let me explain this a little bit. So I do know some business owners who have been exploring ways to add another component to their business. And this is taking a little bit of a left turn here from where I wanted to start this episode, but I'm just going to go with it. So if you have a business or you haven't started one, this is still both for you. What area of your business or of your life do you feel that you could be qualified to teach someone else something? And when I say that big word qualified, that does not mean that you have to be an expert or a master at something. It really doesn't. And I think we've all heard people say that you really only need to be 10% ahead to be able to teach somebody something that you've just done. And I mean, I'm all for that. I don't want to have to spend 50, 20, however many thousands of dollars to learn something and finish it completely before I can start to pull someone else along with me. I'm a huge believer in, as soon as I've read something or done something, and that's what this podcast is about, is I want to share that. I just want to share something that's helped me. If it's helped me, maybe it can help other people. Maybe it doesn't, whether they're open to it or not. I think that that's also a bit of a mindset shift that people are starting to make, is that we can always be learning things from other people if we're open to that. And you really do have to be open to learn those things. So what have you got inside of you? If we go back to maybe you've considered opening your own business for whatever reason, maybe you're unhappy in employment. Maybe as an employee, you're not experiencing the kind of freedom that you think perhaps entrepreneurs around you or that you see are experiencing. You might be right. I mean, I definitely got into owning my own business because I did want to take control of my life and I wanted to be able to be flexible. Mostly it was because I had a gaggle of kids and I wanted to be able to run them all around the world. You know, I wanted nothing more to be the best chauffeur I could be. So I definitely, this is a bit of a joke right now because I'm not enjoying chauffeuring kids all over the place. I love watching them play sports and I love watching them be amazing humans. But could somebody drive me there too? Like, let's just somebody drive all of us. That's kind of where I'm going with that. I'm not enjoying driving so much these days, but I am enjoying the flexibility of it. So I do love being able to, in the middle of the day, go and pick up my daughter and drive her to her gymnastics, which happens in the middle of a school day. She gets out of school early because she is a competitive gymnast and she's amazing at it. And I want to be able to do that for her. And I want to be able to take my boys to their football games and to all those things. I want to be there for that. And that is the reason that I chose entrepreneurship. Now, it's not always the same for everyone. It isn't always that straightforward. And in the beginning, you do tend to have to put in more time. But to me, it's worth it. And that's why I'm asking you the question, is there a business in you? Because I want for you to be able to experience the freedom that can come with starting your own thing and creating your own economy. And you can do that with a business. So when I ask the question is, what are you good at? What could you share with the world? And who cares whether you have qualified, whether you think people will pay for that or not? Let's not even talk about that right now. That is a part of it, sure. But what is it that you have that you know that's sort of your unique thing that other people aren't doing right now? I know you got something in there. And some of these questions can help you to pull that out of yourself. So what is something that people come to you for naturally? So do you find yourself getting asked the same question over and over? Sometimes I used to get asked, like, I don't know how you do all the things that you're doing. And, you know, to be honest, most of the time, I have no idea how I'm doing them either, but I'm just doing them. But people say, like, I don't get the time or the energy or, you know, so sometimes I'm explaining that. And so that might be something that I would want to, you know, maybe do a course around is, hey, how can you max the most out of your day without, you know, burnout? Because I definitely don't want people to burn out, but I want to use my life to the fullest. I want to do the most I can. But that's just me, right? So that's one thing. But people ask me that. And so what are people asking you? What are they coming to you for advice on? Or what do they think that you're really great at? Sometimes we just need to start to gauge that from the people around us. Hey, I'm thinking about doing something. Let's brainstorm. Can you brainstorm this with me? I want your opinion on this. And I'm not always encouraging you to look outside, but sometimes we don't realize how good we are at certain things, or we just aren't focused on that. And it can help to have people, supportive people around us to help us figure it out. So the other thing I would say is you could be looking at something that you've already done in your life that maybe you're passionate about. Maybe you've already accomplished something and you're not even considering that, but that is right there, in a sense, a business. You can show someone else how to do XYZ because you've already done it. You've already had success with it just by having done it. And whether or not it's entirely worked out for you, or if you're still kind of learning along the way, you're still further ahead than someone else might be in starting it, right? So those are kinds of questions you can start to ask yourself to see, hey, do I know enough about something or have experience enough about something that I could teach someone else how to do it? And I think that a lot of people don't see how that can become a business. Well, let's take some examples. How could you create a business out of being really good at making pizza? I don't know, I'm just going to, it's just an example. Well, there's several ways you could actually open an in-person pizza shop. If people love your pizza, then hey, you can definitely do that. There's another way too. You could get online. You could create a YouTube channel. You could show people all the different ways you love to make pizza, all your favorite toppings, all your favorite combinations. Maybe they're really different. Maybe you do something that you aren't able to order from a pizza place. And that creates a unique opportunity for you to show something and create new ideas for people, right? And this is just a really simple example, but for someone listening who's really great at making pizza, it might be like, oh my goodness, this is yeah, I definitely want to do that. I could spend my time talking about pizza and tasting pizza. I don't know. It's really a silly example. But anyway, it is one way, right? So let's see, we created an in-person pizza business. And that would be with different combinations. Maybe we find a way to highlight a different kind of crust or whatever. Pizza's pretty popular. So it tends to be that there's a different one in several areas of wherever you live, right? But the other side of that is online. So what's the difference between the in-person business and being online? Well, in person, you're renting a space. You have to have employees that cost money to employ because you need to have somebody there to cash people out and take the orders and make the pizza, right? You can't do it all yourself. You can't be making that many pizzas all alone. So you're definitely going to have some help. And there's nothing wrong with this, okay? I'm not suggesting that we don't need pizza places because I enjoy pizza just like the next person. So I definitely want that. And I want to try your pizza if you're really good at making it. But what about the online side of that? So would I also maybe like to open my computer and go, I really have this. I want to check out some different ways to do this because I do make pizza at home and I would like to try some different ways of doing it. So this is just example has just gone on, right? I'm wildfire. So I might be like, okay, I want to get really good at making pizza. How could I do that? Well, I could check out what's available if I Google how to be great at making pizza. That could be the title of the course that you're putting online. I use an amazing platform called Kajabi, Kajabi, and I will link to it after this because if you do want to check it out and you're interested in building a course, it's a great place to start because it's an all-in-one, really easy-to-use platform, and it's got everything. And that's where I use to deliver my courses. But this is an amazing platform that shows you how to take your idea and create something that you can sell to people online. And you can create a video and put it in there and say, hey, this is how I make this. This is how I do this. And every step from A to Z, whatever you want in there. But then I, the person purchasing your course, can get really great at making pizza and never have met you in person. And perhaps you haven't even spent a minute of your time, your very valuable time with me. But I'm still getting all of you because we have this amazing thing called an iPhone or an Android phone or whatever it is you use that you use to record those videos. And then you upload them to a place like Kajabi. And then you put it in front of me and you say, hey, this is me. How are you? I'm great. Here's what I'm going to teach you today. And you go to town and you record it once. You record it one time, hopefully well the first time, maybe do a few takes, and then it's out there and it's out in the world for anyone to absorb and to purchase from you. And it's a great way for you to be able to showcase something that you're good at. So let's look at a different example. Perhaps you are, maybe you're a brilliant coach. There's a lot of coaches popping up all around because they've realized that they're really good at something and they want to teach other people how to be good at it too. And it could be, there's many different areas of coaching. It could be like maybe you have lost a lot of weight and you want to show people how to get healthy and how to drop pounds just like you did. Like these are all things that are something you've already done with your life that you can show someone else how to do. Now, what if you haven't done something? So what if you haven't done something and gotten results yourself? Well, there's another way to look at this too. So there could also be a business in you if you've helped someone else to get results. So maybe you haven't done it personally, but you're really good at showing other people how to do something specific. I don't know. I don't even know how to give an example for this, but what would that thing be? So the potential of being able to help someone else get results and show that you've gotten someone else results with something is a way to create a business. I've really been able to help my friends create an amazing outfit when we're going out. So my friends are going out. I'm the one they always call to come over and help them pick out their outfit. This is just an example. I do also love to do this, but I don't know how many people are actually asking me to do this, which is why I don't have a business doing this. But I do love to help people look great. I do like to help them be fun with their outfits and be creative and whatever. But if you were really good at that, how could you turn that into a business? Well, I got a few ideas for you. You could open a store If you wanted to do this in person, you could have people come in and you could help them create outfits. Maybe you even do a consignment store where people bring you clothes and you're constantly getting new pieces, and you can do the whole vintage thing and, upcycle stuff so that we're not hurting the environment and yada, yada, right? Okay. So one idea, how about what if you were online helping people? Maybe you even offer them a consult where you, via Zoom or something, you take a look in their closet and go, hey, how about that chevron blouse thing, and pair that with those jeans. Yep. And see those belts. Yep. Grab that one. Whatever. I don't know. I'm making this stuff up right now as I go along. But you see what I'm saying, right? You don't have to be in person. You don't have to spend a bunch of money and open a brick and mortar store, because that costs a lot. It's a lot of overhead. But you can start this like tomorrow. So you can start this tomorrow with $0. So I do want to encourage you to think about these different ideas of how you could start to look at yourself as a business person. So how could you start to look at yourself as having something to offer someone else that you already have inside of you? That's the whole point of this episode is there a business in you? And I mean right now. I don't mean you got to go out and take a course or you got to go learn something new. No. I think that you have something inside of you right now, and I believe that. I believe in your ability because you've made it this far in your life. Like, what have you done to get here? We've all taken a different route to get to where we are right now, and we've learned things along the way. But it's funny how sometimes we overlook those things, and sometimes those are things that actually bring us joy or we're passionate about, and maybe we do them on the side for free, or maybe we just naturally help someone to do these things. It doesn't always have to be about helping someone either. I mean, obviously that's great and it feels great, but maybe it could be providing something that they just simply want, Hey, I love those things. I'm going to buy that. It could be that. So I just want to encourage you to really start to open up your mind and think about the things that you've done. And something that helped me do this was to start to write my own timeline. I forgot about some of the things that I've actually done in my life. And I'm 44 years old right now. I've lived a life. I've done a lot of different things. But not all have been like these outstanding, outrageous things. But they've all compiled and compounded into who I am right now. And what are some of the things that I've gone through or I've done that I could maybe help someone else overcome? Or maybe I can show someone how to make mac and cheese. I'm really good at making mac and cheese, by the way. It's something that I just wanted to be good at. I wanted to learn how to do it. And every time I make it differently, which really annoys people who want to learn. So I probably wouldn't choose that as a business. But you know what I'm saying? Like I acknowledge that about myself, that I'm good at making that. So what's something that you can find? And that timeline really helped me to see, okay, wow, that's right. I forgot about that. I forgot that I did that and I was, 25 years old and I was doing this. Oh, that's cool. What if I can talk about that? I also like to talk about those things when I'm giving examples. So if I'm telling somebody that I've done something, I need to be able to tell them a story and explain, hey, this is what happened and this is how I got through it. Or maybe I accessed someone else and their resources or whatever to help me get through it. Whatever it is. These are all stories and these are all experiences that you've had, and you've had them for a reason. Maybe there's something there that can help you to share that with someone else and help them. And that's called having a business that has an impact on others. It doesn't have to be that kind of business, but I would like to think that almost every business has some kind of impact on somebody, right? Whether or not you're selling to another business. So maybe you have a business, but what's something your business could offer to another business, right? There's all these ideas just flowing out there. And I find it really fun to help people to pull these ideas out of themselves. So that's something that I like to do. If you're interested in that, I'm not sure what's available right now while you're listening to this in real time, but check it out. Just go have a peek at what I'm offering and see if it fits. If not, I want you to listen to this again. And I want you to start to think about yourself through it if you haven't been while you're listening to this. So asking yourself those questions, what's something people come to me and ask for advice on? What's something people say that I'm really good at? And oftentimes when we get compliments, we often are like, oh, no. And we kind of shirk it off and don't pay attention to it. But those are real compliments, right? Those are things that people are trying to tell us and alert us to that, hey, you're good at that. Did you know? Like they want us to know because they want to see us succeed doing it. Start to gather that from people around you. And if you really are interested in building a new business, or if you are already a business owner, but you want to start something new, I just encourage you to start. Now is definitely the time to do this. So if you're thinking of any of those online ideas kind of hit you like, okay, I'm not going to make pizza, but I really do like to do this. And I could, look at Kajabi and see if that platform can work for me because it will allow me to get started right away. And they do offer free trials and things like that. And you can check out the link below. It's my referral link. So I do get paid if you join. So this is full transparency. I joined by someone else's referral link and they still get paid for when I pay for the program. But when I joined, there was like this amazing 3-month deal and like it's super great. So I love the platform. I've used it over the years actually. So a few years back, I created a membership that I don't still have right now, but it was a really great learning experience for me. So I took a business idea and I just said, okay, I'm going to try this out. I want to do this. I want to just get my feet wet in something new and see if I can actually make this work. And I did make it work. But I was also running another business while I was doing it, actually 2 other businesses while I was doing it. And I just found like it was taking a lot. So maybe I wasn't doing it exactly the way that I wanted to do it in order to be effective, but also be able to manage my time and not become too overwhelmed or burn out or any of those things, because that's not what we want to see. So I think that there are ways to be effective and to create a business that doesn't end up owning us. So I want to own my business and I want to have freedom. So those are my goals. I don't know what your goals are, but my goal is to live in a culture of freedom. And that's why I created this podcast, because I want to do that and I want to help other people do that. And you might not even be here if you don't want that, right? Maybe you're attracted to this podcast because it's called Freedom Culture and you want more freedom in your life. But I would say one of the best ways to get there is to start something of your own, and you create the conditions of which you live every day. So you create the conditions of your employment because you own the business, right? There's only one way to do that. You got to take a leap and you got to be the one, right? You've got to be able to rely on yourself. And it's a bit of a risk, sure. But, I kind of thrive off those kinds of risks personally. And I don't know if you're willing to bet on yourself, which I totally encourage you to do, because you can bet on yourself over literally anyone else. Are you going to cheat yourself out of money? Are you going to shut down the business so you're out of a job? No, right? Like you're going to take care of yourself. So why not bet on yourself? Why not say, now is the time? Now is the time for me to bet on myself, to go all in on that thing I've been thinking about, to take the risk because it's worth it. It really is. And to start to create that freedom for yourself. But be smart about it too. I started in-person service businesses in the past, and they have ended up owning me. And it's been difficult. So I would definitely encourage others when they're in those kinds of businesses to start looking at other ways that you can drive revenue. So if right now you have an in-person service business where it requires you to be present with a client or to serve multiple clients or whatever it is, but you have to be there physically in person every time in order to make revenue, well, that's really hard to scale, right? It's really going to be hard for you to make more money than you're making right now. And I know that you want to do more and to be more and to make more. You know why? Because most of the time we make what we absolutely need. We make just that amount. We don't make extra. We don't make more for tomorrow's rainy day or for the kids' university funds or for whatever it is, right? The trips that we want to take that we aren't taking, right? Because it's hard, because we need so much extra money to do that, especially when you have a big family or a little family or whatever it is. Travel costs money and the time away from the business costs you money. But what if it didn't? So what if we were really intentional when starting these businesses and creating businesses that can run when we're not there, right? And that's what I want to encourage you to start to think about. If you're starting a new business, keep that in your mind. If you have a business and it's kind of running you at the moment and you're feeling really overwhelmed by how much you need to do to keep the business going, then that's something else to think about too, is how can I still be effective and still create revenue, make money, but not add more hours onto my week. So how can I do that? And there's some really great resources out there. I also will have some, if they're not already up when you're listening to this in real time, then it will be coming really soon. But it's something I'm super passionate about. I want to help people have freedom culture. That's why I'm here talking to you right now. That's why I'm saying, is there a business in you? Because I know that that's where the freedom is. I know that because I live that, because I feel the freedom. And I want you to feel it too. I want you to have the life that you want. And I'm not saying you want my life, okay? My life is mine. It's mine because I put it here for me this way. And you can put whatever it is you want in your life for you too. You just got to figure out what that is. And if you need help doing that, I'll make sure to put some links below this episode and you can check that out. But thank you so much for listening in. I know there's a business in you. I haven't met a person yet that I haven't helped pull a business out of them. Just saying. If they didn't already have a business, we've definitely talked about how they could, because it just automatically comes up for me. I see people, I see them working hard, and I love people who work hard and who are just naturally like hungry for it. Those are the perfect business owners as well, by the way, because they have a hunger inside them. They have a drive. And if you're that person who works hard and you're currently working hard for somebody else and you listen to this episode because you're like, you know what? I've been working hard for years for other people and making them money. Now is your time. Now is your time. You can make some money for yourself by using that same ambition, the same drive and hunger that you have, and you just need one idea to get it started. So what's it going to be? Think about it and let me know. I want to hear. So I want to know if you've had an idea while you're listening to this, or if, you put some time into exploring what those ideas are. I want to hear about it. So get at me. You can find me on Instagram at stephsimmons.co or at the Freedom Culture Podcast. And let me hear it. Okay. Bye for now. Yes, you just made it to the end of another episode of the Freedom Culture Podcast, and I'm so happy that you did. My goal with each episode is always to offer some type of inspiration for you in your life and business. Thanks for tuning in, and if you found the show helpful or are looking for any of the resources mentioned in this episode, just hop on over to my website at stephsimmons.co and sign up. That way you can get notified when there's new episodes, or you can follow me over on Instagram at stephsimmons.co or at Freedom Culture Podcast. And you will see new episodes posted there as well. Again, thank you so much for joining me, and we'll catch you next time on the Freedom Culture Podcast.